¿Qué tal, gente? My name is Rodrigo García. I'm the artistic director of Teatro Visión and your host for tonight. Bienvenidos to La Hora del Mitote. Thank you for joining us tonight. La Hora del Mitote, remember, se transmite every Friday at 7 p.m. here at our Facebook page and also through our YouTube channel. We invite you to participate by sending us your questions and comments. And tonight we have two very special guests, Nathan Svoboda and Luis Castillo, and they are from Project More, and they are here to tell us about this exciting project that is happening in our community. So thank you very much. Hello, folks, friends, amigos, Nathan and Luis. Welcome to La Hora del Mitote here at Teatro Visión. How are you?
Oh, thank you. It's really a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, thank you for having us. This is a great opportunity. I think every time that we're given the chance to connect with more fellows in the community and with more fellow artists, it's great. So thank you for having us.
Thank you for accepting to be here tonight. So let's jump right into our conversation tonight. And we usually do a very casual format. We sometimes jump from Spanish to English. So feel free to express yourself the way you feel more comfortable. Okay.
Cool.
So let's start by just knowing, what is Project More? What do they do?
It's a great question, and I appreciate that. Project More is a nonprofit organization headquartered here in Silicon Valley that serves the LGBTQ community throughout Northern California, with a primary focus here in the heart of Silicon Valley in the Santa Clara County. What the organization is really about is about assisting members of our LGBTQ and allied communities with enrichment with life enrichment, giving opportunities, giving spaces, giving community building opportunities, and outreach and education, and various ways that we can support and serve members of our LGBT community, as well as educate and assist those that are our allies.
Thank you. And what is your role, Nathan and Luis? What do you do at Project More?
Luis?
Yeah, I've been with Project More for collaborating actually with Project More for over 2 years now, but I've been in the board for over a year, and I guess the official title is Outreach and Development Director. But I really tried to collaborate more in the areas of photo and video. So anything that is related to production, or helping people in the community, or people that are doing work with us, or that just want to learn a little bit more, is one of the channels in there, right, to give and to collaborate with more people in the community.
Great.
And my role with the organization is president and COO, or chief operating officer. But the truth is I'm just a member of the team, and I just assist the organization and its team members with effectively operating the organization as a whole, and ensuring our business acumen, as well as ultimately serving the LGBT community and those organizations that are our partners, including even some businesses that aid and really want to create safe and inclusive spaces, and helping them do that effectively.
Fantastic. It's so great to have organizations like Project More that focus on particularly sectors of the community that are underserved, such as the LGBTQ community in Santa Clara County. So thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you.
Yeah, if I might say, I think there's definitely a lot of organizations out there right? And it's nice to see that there's more and more people interested in participating at whatever level, right? And I think there's definitely it's an exciting time, even though it's not necessarily an easy time, especially right now with what we're going through. But it's definitely an exciting time because we see more and more people wanting to get involved, and more people identifying areas that need help, right? And so definitely a big element of that. Connecting with more people, reaching out to more organizations like Teatro Visión, et cetera, right? So there's definitely a lot of opportunities out there.
You know, Luis, I couldn't agree more. Unfortunately, the pandemic and the various health crises and the financial ruins that have perspired, and even here locally in the Bay Area with health and fire and air quality and various things, certainly a bunch of challenges. Challenges for any community, including those that are LGBTQ. And somehow we have managed as an organization to find ourselves with new blossoming relationships and new opportunities, new calls for assistance, new calls for help, new calls for engagement, and with some positive and exciting news as well. And so, you know, we certainly appreciate the opportunities and relationships that we have and that we're building. And although a very unfortunate situation in times for many, we are definitely thankful for some of the positives that the organization has been able to do as a result of these crises.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it might sound cliche, but it is true. We are stronger when we are together. And I think this is really important because when we hear organizations, their focus doesn't limit of what they should be doing or what they are doing or the population they'll be working with, but it really, it's an opportunity to create bridges with other organizations. Teatro Visión is a theater company, but that theater is not the only thing that we do. And certainly we are not related only to organizations that do theater. So I think this is really important. How does Project More build those relationships? And how do you see that intersectionality of different identities and different purposes coming into place, particularly at this time?
Luis, you want to start with that?
I think a lot of every project has its own signature connection, I think. But many of the more involved projects usually start with an idea, right? And that could be either Project More having a meeting or somebody who reaches out to Project More and says, hey, I've seen what you guys done over here, and I've been thinking about this. Can we do something? And I think that's the moment that it gets a little bit more interesting, exciting, at the moment that there's a particular challenge, right? And somebody has identified already and sees an idea in there, something that can help the community. And then, we just brainstorm and see, well, we know so-and-so, we can connect you with this other person, or, oh, maybe we can organize something together, or, oh, you know what? If you want to do it yourself, we can help you and provide you, with a little bit of background knowledge, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Like, what's the idea? And I think that's, again, I'm going to use that word a lot. It's exciting, because it really provides an opportunity to connect more on a human level. It's not so much a company, right, or organization. There's so many nonprofits out there, right, and we need them all. The thing is, how can we connect today for this particular project and make it awesome? How can we actually make it in a way that is going to reach the most people, those specific people that maybe is a targeted project, right, for, I don't know, a sector of the community who is in the need of something very specific, or more in general, trying to build a stronger connection either within the community, in the community, or the community trying to go out and branch out and make even stronger connections, right? We at some point we all have some experience, more some than others, collaborating with government, for example, collaborating with elected officials directly, collaborating with friends and family that are somehow involved in other networks. And I think, again, that's the exciting part. It just allows another layer of communication and connection. Um, so that's essentially how many of the projects start. We do have a list. I have to confess, we do have a list of wish projects, and it keeps growing. It just keeps growing.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Some of them we never seem to get to because we get something else that seems to be more important. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think Rodrigo, to your point, almost, that this maybe have started out as a theatrical or an arts type thing, and here you are talking today to us, for instance. But I think Project More, honestly, that's partially how we started, right? So part of the reason why the organization established itself is because it found itself being the glue or being a liaison or kind of trying to fill some potential holes, and we needed an umbrella to be able to work under, almost, right? So in some cases, some of our founding partners or founding organization members, that's really what it was all about. Is we came to the organization and we wanted to do it, and we wanted to be a part of the board or the organization's team structure because we wanted to do different things. We didn't want to be pigeonholed to a specific topic. The ultimate goal and common denominator has always been we want to help people that are LGBTQ in a positive way, simply said. And how can we do that? And sometimes we ourselves have those skill sets to do it effectively, or as Luis mentioned before, in other cases, we have created wonderful relationships with people in our community and organizations and businesses that are doing it much better and more eloquently. And so all we need to do is connect the two dots and allow the relationships to flourish.
And you've done a tremendous job. In my day job and working for public health, I've had the opportunity to be working with you guys in events, in this big event that happens on Post Street to promote health. And it's such a great experience to see all these different groups coming together with one purpose. And I think, again, it's creating the perfect dish where all the ingredients come together, each ingredient with their own properties and characteristics, but together they make this flavorful dish. And I think it's really wonderful. It's really wonderful to have a clear vision and to be able to connect these dots and create this network, because at the end, when we work to the benefit of one group, we are working for the benefit of the larger community as well, because we are all interconnected, and that's so important. We don't live in silos where everyone is going in their own bubble. We are all interconnected, and our experiences connect us in that way. Thank you very much. I want to thank all the people that might have just joined us on Facebook. We are talking to Project More, Nathan Svoboda, who is the COO, the president, and Luis Castillo, who is the Outreach and Development Director, and they are here with us tonight. We invite you to ask questions, make comments, say hi, send some love. We'll love to hear from you. So, Nathan, there is a project that we are hoping that you and Luis can tell us more about. What is happening on Post Street, which, let me just preface by saying, I never knew that Post Street existed until maybe 8 years ago. No, probably about 10 years ago. But I never knew that there was life there. And I had lived in San Jose for 20 something years. And it was until then that I found out that there was life. Tell us about this project that is coming up on Post Street.
Yes, what a great it's a little gem, isn't it? And certainly one that we hope to really flourish of its own. So this little project that we have going is entitled Qmunity District. It's an establishment of an LGBTQ public space within the downtown San Jose core that is a place for members of the LGBTQ community, allies and families and all persons here in the South Bay area to come and enjoy LGBTQ culture, arts, nightlife. Eventually, we also hope to bring in new businesses and perspiring entrepreneurs and really make it a district where all are welcome, all are comfortable, and certainly there will be lots of color and lots of artistic talent that will all be all to enjoy. So Qmunity District is what's being created there on Post Street.
Qmunity District. Fantastic. It might sound a little bit of a naive question, but I would love you or Luis to articulate, and I think it is important for people who might be watching this Hora del Mitote tonight. You can articulate why having a space like this, it's so important and so relevant right now.
Luis, would you like to?
I can start. Throughout time, there's been this segregation, right? I mean, it's part of history. It's part of it's an unfortunate part of the human being, I guess, right? Try to put somebody down and make yourself better or a group better, and thinking that there's different statuses, and it's unfortunate because we have seen throughout history that we are here and we're gonna stay here. And I mean we as us, the whole, right? LGBTQ community has definitely been here in Silicon Valley. There's so many great artists, not only here in the Silicon Valley, but everywhere, anywhere. And with this project, we're really trying, and as the community has also said to us, even when we were putting together the project and when we were working on the presentation of the project, they really identified that it was needed because even though we have safe spaces around us, we still didn't have an area, a district. All major cities in the world have a district dedicated to the LGBTQ plus community and its history, right? A place when people is going to be welcome, a place when you can come as you are, right? A place when you can be who you are. And definitely it's a big part of the mission, it's a big part of the goal to create that safe space. And safety has different meanings for different people because of the experiences that we might have had in the past, which is also unfortunate, right? I mean, some of it might be violent, some of it might be physical, some of it might be mental, et cetera, right? And again, we have seen it throughout history. And by creating this space and inviting more people to participate in it, we are trying to put like one more brick in that road, right? Inviting the people to come and participate, sounds simple, and we know that it's not easy, right? And we really need the participation of everybody, all LGBTQ plus um, allies. You know, if you're coming together for the right reasons, this is the place to expand your projects, to participate in the arts, to participate in the commerce, to participate as a voice, to bring your own voice or help others to amplify the voice.
Certainly, one in the Chicano movement, for example, claiming an identity was so important. It was a way of resisting of the erasure of the existence of of the experience of Mexican Americans and those who had a Latino or a background that it was not mainstream white. And this fight for this is who I am, be unapologetic, it was so important. And I think that what you are explaining, it's so important because yes, I mean, why having a space, right? Why having a dedicated space? And I think having a space to celebrate an identity or many identities, it's so important. It's to make sure that folks know that we exist, that we are present, and we don't get blended into mainstream where people might think, oh, why do I have to? Well, until people recognize the value of every human being as equal, then we need to make sure that we lift our voices to remind people of our existence. And I think the Qmunity District, it's a great place where this celebration will happen. So how did everything started? What triggered that idea, and how did the project come about?
Yes. It's a common question. And I wish I had a more exciting answer. But the truth of it is it started through a meeting. It started through a simple conversation with ourselves and San Jose City Council member Raul Perales, to be honest, and a very simple question of, gosh, wouldn't it be great if there was a space that LGBTQ could call their home? It's like San Pedro Square or like Little Italy or like, a little, all the other cultural spaces, Japantown, etc. That we already have here in our city. And we need more of them. I mean, there's still many cultures that have yet to be represented. And of course, at first there was a and then there was a where and a when and all that, and several meetings and conversations, and maybe a few stressful moments. We really got somewhere. We really got traction. We really got interest. We got interest from community. We got interest from businesses. We got interest from the San Jose Downtown Association. We got a huge interest from our dearest friends now over at Gensler San Jose, and we really at this point knew as the project was moving forward, this was definitely something that needed to be done. This was not just should we, but it was, when do we get this going? Like, what are we waiting for? And then it was a matter of, well, where do we take this thing? Hold on, we need phases now, and we need to formalize, right? To really formalize it into hopefully something very special. And so certainly we have done some things so far, with the start of our unveiling, as well as some other things. But we also have many other plans and processes to go through, and ultimately we're currently in the most probably important process of them all, which is the time for the community to share and tell what they want, what they don't want, what they'd like to see, how they'd like to see it. because that's ultimately what it's going to be. I mean, it's a little cliche, but the truth is our personal goal as the project managers, if you will, are to create a space that is built for LGBTQ by LGBTQ community. So, it's the community and those within it that will ultimately share with us and tell us what ultimately will be created.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing, and I want to hear more. Thank you to all the people who are connected, who are watching us on La Hora del Mitote. Remember La Hora del Mitote every Friday at 7 p.m. here on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Please, send us your comments, questions, your love. Thank you, Janvier. He says, hello, everyone. Welcome. He also says, thank you so much for the work you are doing and for reminding us who we are and that we are all capable of doing great things. Thank you. We also have a comment from Hugo Badu. Saludos, Nate and Luis, and thanks for all the amazing work you do. Thank you, Hugo, and thank you to everyone who is watching right now La Hora del Mitote. Estamos aquí con Project More, con nuestros amigos Nathan Svoboda, who is the COO of Project More, and Luis Castillo, who is the Outreach and Development Director. Thank you. So Nathan, you were saying about now it's time for the community to tell us what they want. What is the process or the structure that you have set up for people to provide input?
Thank you for asking that so important question, Rodrigo. What they can do immediately today, right now even, is they can go to qmunitydistrict.org. And at qmunitydistrict.org is where you'll find a quick, I believe it's 10-question survey that will give us a snapshot and some key information. And actually, folks have kind of elaborated because they have the opportunity to elaborate on their answers. And they've shared some really important information, some of which we've already had the opportunity to react on. A perfect example is some folks felt it was too dark. Well, what did we do? We went to the city, did the advocate work that we do, and said, hey, we need some new lights. Like, we need some of these new LED fancy lights. So hopefully the next time you go down to the community district located on Post Street, hopefully you now see and believe that it is brighter than it once was, and hopefully maybe even feel a little safer. So certainly going there and doing the survey is a great first step. Another thing that the organization is working on is developing a series of vision sessions that will be held similar to a format like this, and where members of the community will be able to, through live communication, either directly verbally express, use chat, or however they feel comfortable communicating directly with a member of our team and the member of the project, as well as an opportunity for then us to maybe share some intimate details about the project or ask questions that are maybe outside of the project that maybe have not yet been shared, but are maybe still in development. This very much is a developing a project that will be developing itself over probably years, to be honest. And, we're still in its infancy, and what a great time to share and get involved is when it's being created.
Luis, talking about the community and how diverse our community is, how can we make sure that we hear the voices of different members of the community that, represent the diversity that there is in our, in our valley?
As simple as it might sound, just ask the question, look for the answer. I think a lot of us have had opportunities, right, when we think, oh, it would be good if, and then a project idea comes about, right? I think that's the element that is going to make this community district a little bit different. The engagement from the community. we do get a lot of opportunities, around to practice democracy, right? If we want to call it like that. Now with the social media technology and shows like yours, we get opportunities to share our thoughts. And yes, sometimes it might not be easy to share our thought, especially if it's constructing criticism. But if it comes from a place, deep in the heart, to really try to improve something, to have more voice, to give more voice to those different people in the community, I think it's good. It's enough reason to take a chance and see what happens, right? We've all complained in the past that people are not heard, that people have ideas, but nobody listens to them. I can tell you today, Qmunity District is definitely one of those projects of Project More that is going to pay super special attention to all and single one of the comments in there. And so, as Nathan was mentioning, definitely go into the website, qmunitydistrict.org. You can go to Facebook, to the Qmunity District page. You can go to the Project More page. You can send us a text in there and through the Facebook Messenger. You can send us an email through our website. There's so many ways. Many people know us in the community, so you can definitely reach out to us directly and see what happens. I think the best of this is to take that opportunity and to share the ideas. Sounds simple. I know it's not easy, especially because we might not have had positive experiences in the past, but I can assure you this one is different.
And that's a very important point. I think it is valid to recognize that sometimes people do not take that first step, not because of a lack of interest, but because they've had previous experiences where their voices were not validated. And I think, it is important to recognize that. But, knowing both of you, Nathan and Luis, I can guarantee folks who are listening or watching La Hora del Mitote that these two folks that I have the privilege of knowing and calling my friends, they're really true to what they are saying, and they are very, very committed. And you can approach them, you can contact them, you can just talk to them and tell them your thoughts. They'll pay attention to what you have to say, and they are always willing to help. And so thank you, Nathan, thank you, Luis, for the work that you do.
Thank you for those kind words. I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you. And the truth is that in this project and almost every other project that we work on, if we don't get your feedback or your thoughts or your opinions, then we can't do the best job at advocating or serving it. And the best thing that we can do is just keep asking for information and for your word, because it's that input and the information that we use to hopefully better the community, including yourself.
And I think I want to add something else too about your role, Nathan and Luis, and in general, Project More. That Project More is not this huge entity where this powerful people exist. That you folks are, Project More is a lot of volunteers coming together to accomplish different projects. Am I right?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. On so many levels. I think I'm smiling and grinning in excitement and passion, to be honest, and a little bit of proud. I mean I am the president of the organization, and I'm proud of the team that we have, and it's almost really more of a family. A La Familia. It's a really collection of people that bring a wealth of different professional and interpersonal knowledge and skill, and it's all of the people involved and the people that we have not yet even got involved but need to get involved, because we need you. We need your voice, your representation. We need to be as diverse as possible. And what better way to represent a section of our wonderful diverse community than a member of that section? I mean, that's really, in my opinion, the most authentic way to do it. So, yeah, it's a passion of love, to be honest. We don't get paid. The organization as a whole has founded itself from the beginning of the last 7 years through a team that does all of its work at a volunteer level. Every dollar that we earn goes back to the projects and those that we serve. That's how we've done it from the beginning, and that's how we continue to do it. And we really take pride in doing that and being transparent about what and how we do.
And that's definitely an added value, because, it's the interest is the passion in itself for doing what you love, for who you love, for the, really going to the core of why it is important to do it, as opposed to having an ulterior motive of, I get paid this much, therefore I'm going to do it because of the money. But it's not about that. Luis, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, very, very true. Very true.
Rodrigo, he always wants to say something. So
I have many things to say.
Yeah, so anyway, we should probably keep going.
Yeah, Spanish or English.
Como quieras, however you want.
But yes, I wanted to add to what we're talking about, right? From slightly different perspective, right? Because we've all tried to volunteer in the past, or we are volunteering currently, or we're thinking about volunteering, right? So if I may take this opportunity to invite the people that have been thinking about doing some volunteering work, visit Project More website. Ooh. I think you're gonna like it a lot. If there's something that you have in mind and it might sound a little too out there, tell us about it. It's probably not too much out there, because we really take pride on those projects and opportunities to challenge ourselves. 100% volunteer work. I mean, that's it. There's no egos. There's no double angles or whatever, then people will hear from, past or whatever, At the worst case scenario, it will be an idea. If you have an idea, right, and you reach out to us and it's an idea that somebody else mentioned it already, that's actually not that bad. Now we have more weight to move it forward, right? I think it comes down to just participating, right? If you want to volunteer, there's so many ways to do it, right? You can definitely reach out to volunteer for one event. You can reach out to volunteer to help us write content. You can volunteer to help share content. You can volunteer to a different level. Maybe you want to be a board member. Maybe you have a particular project in mind and you just need some extra jolt of energy. We might be able to provide that.
I mean, ultimately, Luis, I agree. We're here to help, right? So part of what our organization is really founded on is aiding and helping others. So, Luis, so great, eloquent words. Couldn't have said it better, in the sense that if you do have a project, maybe you have this glorious idea, but you need just a few other next steps. Well, I can't guarantee you that coming to us is necessarily going to get it to the next level, but I will say this: we have a mantra, and it's be more and do more, and we take that very seriously. So when we say that we're being more, that means we're being in all operations, in all spiritual ways, more, meaning we're doing our best. And when we say we're doing more, that means we're going to go the extra mile almost every given time. If we're not doing 110%, I tell the team that we're just not doing nothing at all. So, and this is not just some kind of lip service or some type of, political message, because we got plenty of those. You can watch a different channel. But this is truthfully this is a community effort, right? So we want to help those that want help, and we want to get awesome things that need to get to the front. We want to help them get to the front. And why, we want to leverage our relationships and our collaborative efforts and our, what influence we have with all levels of various sources and government agencies and what have you, to help get to the next. I mean, why have those connections if we're not properly using them?
You mentioned something, previously, Nathan, that it just brought this almost poetic image to me. And you folks are working in this gigantic project of transforming a place and creating a district. But you mentioned something again, that for me it's a great image of what you both just said. Starting by changing the lights or adding a bulb, that you might not get to everything that you wanted, but that adding a bulb of light or changing a light is going to make a huge difference. And it's the beginning of activating that idea that began. So I think what you're saying in terms of people who want to do something great, that there's nothing wrong with dreaming big, but sometimes where you need to start is by adding that light, that bulb light, and then take it from there. And who knows, right? And in that sense, Project More might be that group of folks who will help you get the first light on, and then it'll be up to you and some other people to continue a project. So I think that's great. And again, I know both of you, and I know the work that you do, and I really appreciate it. I think we need more people like you who are truly committed to make a difference in the community. So thank you very much. Folks, we are approaching the last leg of la Hora del Mitote aquí en Teatro Visión. Recuerden que la Hora del Mitote se transmite todos los viernes a las 7 de la noche por nuestro canal de YouTube y nuestra página de Facebook. Tenemos grandes invitados cada semana hablando de diferentes temas. Queremos invitarles a que nos sintonicen cada viernes a las 7 de la noche. Queremos escuchar sus preguntas, sus comentarios, escuchar qué es lo que piensan, qué temas quieren escuchar. Y si no pudieron ver esto cuando estaba pasando, tienen la oportunidad de verlo después y compartirlo. Es información que no le hace daño a nadie y que además puede beneficiar. Estamos aquí con Project More, con Nathan y Luis, dos grandes voluntarios de la comunidad que son parte de Project More. Nathan es el director y el COO de Project More, y Luis es el director de alcance y desarrollo. So folks, we are approaching the last leg, and I want to get more into details about what is coming next. You mentioned, and I want to repeat it for people who are interested to learn more about this project, this wonderful project, and learn more about Project More. You can go to qmunitydistrict.org, and one way to participate is by, and here we have the website on our screen. One way to participate is by answering the survey. It's a great way to give input, to give those folks more material that they can use to inform what is coming next. and participate in the vision sessions that they will be having. And I'm sure there will be other ways to participate. So
Mhm.
can you folks tell us what are some of the things that you can tell people that they can be excited about that are coming next?
Mm. Luis, how about I'll go ahead and start with that
I was
because
about to
I
say, yeah,
gotta
you
tell
take
you,
that one.
I'm really excited about what's happening next. It's a labor of love, and it's a long time coming. So one thing that we're working on right now is we had a wonderful call out for artists of all shapes and sizes, of all talent levels, and a wonderful pouring. I mean, 30 something applicants. I mean, wonderful. And we collected a community committee that reviewed those. From those, they selected three LGBTQ artists from the community that now have been working for the past week on developing the first of several art mural installations in the community district. Matter of fact, just yesterday, the team actually walked the space physically, and did some, actual visualizing of the space where the first mural will be ultimately installed. That location is, for those that may be familiar, is on the on Lightston Alley, on the Splash San Jose wall. And then actually, due to some partnerships with now Local Color and the Downtown Association, we actually will be working to also add some color and some decor along the old Ross store there on Lightston Alley as well. So hopefully in the next say month or so, you'll be able to go down Lightston Alley, and it will be a breath of fresh air.
And when you're saying artists, you're referring to visual artists, correct?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So in this particular installment effort, yes, we looked for specifically a visual or a muralist, if you will, of various levels and talents, and actually who the committee selected. I mean, it's a great group of people, and a great group of people that in the coming days, will actually be introducing them to the community to learn about them a little, and be able to even maybe give them some insight as to what they would like this first of several community murals to be. But I will say the team is very sensitive to and mindful about making sure that their ultimate design concept is as inclusive and representative as possible, is giving voice and space for all sections, all colors, and all identity types. And it's really, I'm proud to be the organization that's working with them and this talented group to help execute this. Because I mean, there's really some amazing people out there, and unfortunately, we could only pick four, but or pick three rather. But hopefully, with some other projects on the way and in the works, we'll be able to feature many more.
What a wonderful way to start. The art always is fantastic for driving great ideas. Thank you. Luis, you were gonna say something. You want to add something?
The more to what you were saying, right? Artists. This is again sort of like the beginning of it, right? And by including the muralists, is sort of like the first group of people, of artists, right? And that are going to be participating in this district. But it's not limited to only visual artists either, right? So if you're an artist and you have ideas, again, going back to what I was saying earlier, bring them on. Let's share them, because there's going to be space for everybody. And if there's a particular art, right, that might not be as easy to be represented or as easy to perform there, that doesn't mean that we are not going to find the ways to do something about it. So
Well, I will say, even in these COVID circumstances, we are definitely putting our creative hats on and figuring out ways to bring performance actually to the space, to have an opportunity to entertain all of the wonderful downtown diners that have come to the community district and enjoying all the outdoor alfresco dining experiences that we have with all the wonderful businesses there. I mean, you know, whether it's Don Pedro or 55 South or Splash or Max Club, or even have an ice cream. You know, it's still warm this weekend, so enjoy an ice cream at Cream, and then have a seat under the lights. We have colored, we have white, we have wonderful landscaping out there. You know, and maybe while you're there enjoying your alfresco experience, maybe you'll have a vision that hopefully maybe you'll share with us, so that way we can include it, because I'm the first one to say I don't know everything. Matter of fact, I'm not sure I know a lot, to be honest. I probably know about this much. So it takes everybody to make it work, right? Mm-hmm. And so, we're thinking outside the box the best that we can. Well, unfortunately we've gotten a few no's from our friends at the public health department, but we're gonna keep going, and we're bound to find a yes. And as soon as we get one, boy, we'll be doing something.
I'm sure there would be a lot. And I just realized that we've been talking about the Qmunity District, but can we be very specific as to where is this area located?
Oh, you're right. Such important details. Luis, you want to share with our viewers where this location is?
Downtown San Jose, right? So if you go to Post Street, between First Street and Market Street.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're familiar with downtown, there's the Cesar Chavez Plaza right there, and we have the Museum of Art. If you keep going in that direction, sort of like in the commerce behind, the conglomerate of different businesses in there, it's right there. And sort of this iconic and great collaboration partner of ours, Splash. The Splash is right there, the club. And as Nathan was saying earlier, their side of the building is going to be hosting the mural, the first mural. So yeah, it's right there. And if for some reason you don't find it, check on our website. Give us a call. We'll take you there.
Absolutely.
Social distance, of course, though. But
yeah, we follow the rules. I mean, we're.
Oh yes.
Well, there's maybe a couple we push, but you can't get stuff. I think my friend Rodrigo brought it up at the beginning, right? I mean, through some of the things that you have to do to break the barrier or to, create some resistance. I think one of our wonderful leaders says, right, there's good trouble. So, I'd like to think of myself and maybe our organization. Sometimes we do a little good trouble.
How, since you brought it up, how has COVID-19 impacted the operations of Project More? How much has this impacted this wonderful project of Qmunity District?
I guess, Luis, I could start, and then maybe you could. I would say, so as an organization overall, COVID-19 certainly affected us like it affected many other folks in the sense that, at first, we knew it was serious. We had a feeling it was serious. Luckily, as you alluded to, we do a lot of work in the health space, and so we kind of had it on the radar. But the organization, its general operations primarily have been digital and remote for some time, and so luckily that transition was not terribly rough for us. But I think where we really hit hard is we do a lot of community building. We do a lot of community activations and do a lot of, whether that be events or cultural experiences or, having health festivals and fairs or having, just LGBTQ Pride days or Pride nights or what have you. And so it certainly affected us because, we love bringing people together. bringing new people, continuing relationships as well as fostering new ones. And that certainly is a little more challenging, especially in the in-person experiences currently. But what we are doing, as many others, we evaluated and we move forward. I know to a certain extent the Qmunity District and its launch unfortunately had to be postponed a few times because not even because of COVID, but because of our air quality. So there was questions: should we be doing this right now? Should we be communicating this type of information? Is this something we should be, is this something that is going to be important to the community, or is it going to feel or be perceived as possibly insensitive, and etc.? And the truth of it is we said, we didn't think so. And part of why we didn't think so is because one of the things we fought for quick and hard is to make sure that we got the Post Street closed, we got the Qmunity District open, and we got our local businesses there in the space to have an opportunity to operate outside. Now, as winter becomes upon us and the weather starts to change, that will definitely create some challenges that we'll need to work with them and the Downtown Association, City of San Jose, to help fix. But for now, we thought, why not? I mean, our community thrives to engage. I think any community thrives to engage, to be honest. And what way to do it in a safe environment under the wonderful lights? Did I mention lights? And and at the same time having a wonderful cocktail, maybe have a soda or water. Whatever. We got a coffee place right around the road. So I mean, whatever your fancy, whatever your choice, that's why we felt it was important to activate soon and activate swiftly and activate loudly and proudly. And I hope that was communicated, because that's what we were trying to do.
And something important about the Qmunity District that I think it is important that we mention it is that it is a space. It is a district that would welcome anyone. So just because it's LGBT doesn't mean that it's just about the clubs and the drinking and the party. Mm-hmm. There are places for youth who can come and mingle with other youth, eating an ice cream or having a coffee or a soda, like you said. For elder folks who, their dancing days, are behind, but they still want to socialize. And it's so important to welcome them into our communities. There are places where you can sit and chat and just watch people pass by. And certainly for the more active folks who like to be into the club scene, there are alternatives. So, I want to mention that there are places for each sector of the community, and you definitely can come and celebrate being LGBTQ plus, or you can come and celebrate with those who identify as LGBTQ plus, and just have fun. So what a wonderful project. Thank you very much. And as we are approaching our closing, I want to ask you one last question. Financial situation, it's hard for everyone. Mm-hmm. But is there any way that people can financially support this project or the work that Project More is doing?
Luis?
There's definitely different ways. You can find specific information about our fundraising ways on our Facebook channels, but also on the main website, Project More's website. Specifically about Qmunity District, we just recently closed a fundraising event, actually, through Facebook. You know how now it's so easy to set up those buttons, right? As most people would call them. But we're setting up more accessible ways to donate and support. But you can definitely find more information on our website. I will suggest to also subscribe to our newsletter. Um, so much information in there, not only about donation or asking for money, because that's not really why we do it. Um, but it's more. There's a plethora of information for all ages, all kinds, and especially an opportunity for collaboration. To talk about other partners. Yeah.
I would definitely encourage folks to visit domoreproject.org/support. And on that page, we have a list of different ways that you can support the organization. You can give a simple donation online through PayPal or any other secure operation. You can sign up for Amazon Smile, and while you purchase your holiday gifts or your other necessities at home in a safe way, a small percentage of your purchase will come to us, and every little dollar helps. I mean, we don't ask for a lot, but but if everybody did that, I mean, that's an extra $3, $5, $600, maybe even more. So
for another Bud Light.
Absolutely. I mean, I will say, Project More, we're a pretty humble organization, so we don't generally ask for donations. But what I will say is like every other nonprofit organization, we're struggling. There's no question about it. And with with things that we normally would do that would activate some revenue opportunity for us, all of that's gone, unfortunately. We don't have employees, so we weren't able to go to the PPP route. So, definitely we kind of, we have some struggles. But donations certainly help. But, if you can't donate, then give in the form of your time, give in the form of your advice, give in the form of connecting us maybe to somebody else that could help. You can also donate through your work. So if you have a workplace that does matching or maybe offers donations on your behalf while you volunteer or something, we take all those. We are a 501c3 registered public charity, so most organizations we have relationships with.
Thank you. So we came to an end, and before we go, I want to
so sad,
folks. I know, right? We could spend more time, but I want to remind folks to visit QmunityDistrict.org and learn more about this wonderful project. And like Luis and Nathan mentioned, there are many ways to get involved, many ways to give, and help to create this place of celebration of identity, celebration of pride that is on Post Street. Great things are happening. I had the opportunity to watch online the big ceremony that you did just a few weeks ago. Very inspiring. So we invite folks to check it out. If you are walking downtown, come and check out the new lighting on Post Street in the Qmunity District. So thank you very much again, Nathan Svoboda, CEO of Project More, and Luis Castillo, Outreach and Development Director for Project More. It's been a pleasure. I hope this is not the last time, and I'm looking forward to this place and seeing it flourish and being full of people and artists and just live. So thank you.
Maybe one day we can get rid of the chairs and the tables and we can have a theater. You just never know.
Wouldn't that be
great?
Hey, yeah. If you're not thinking more, you're not doing it more.
Absolutely. I'm there with you. So thank you, folks who watched La Hora del Mitote. We'll see you next Friday, 7 p.m. here on Facebook and YouTube. Muchas gracias y muy buenas noches. Gracias, Nathan, y gracias, Luis. Muy buenas noches a todos.
Buenas noches. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Happy Halloween.